Hey guys, my name is Joeri Ruigrok, a very difficult last name for a lot of people to pronounce. And in this video, I want to take you on my life journey. I want to step into my vulnerability, share with you guys things that I've never shared before on social media, because I wasn't supposed this life that I'm currently living. There was a completely different path for me. And yet here I am in my hotel room in Canada after a 4-day business event with 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9-figure entrepreneurs. And I just want to take you back in this video about how things have shifted in my life. And maybe you're on a path where you feel like you're heading into the direction you don't want to head into, or perhaps you're on the right path, but I want to share with you my lessons, my changes, my mistakes, my insights that hopefully will help you as well, and also to show you more what has happened behind the curtains for me to get where I'm at and still on the journey of creating my own business, helping people, creating a ripple effect of growth and success. So to just dive in where it maybe all started, I guess it all started in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. That's where I'm originally from. Eindhoven, Netherlands, which is the city of Philips, and this is where I graduated back in 2012. I did a graduation thesis at Philips, at the marketing department. I always loved marketing. This is what I studied, and I did my internship there in 2012 about customer relationship management. More specifically, how do we use email marketing for like the 10 million people that they had in the database? How we can use that and email funnels, automation tools, which were quite quite the invention back then. How can we use this to get more clients for what was then called Philips Lighting? And I did my graduation thesis there. For some reason, out of I don't know, I think out of 500 people who applied for the internship, I somehow, don't ask me why, I somehow got the job back then, which I was very grateful for. I was very grateful for working for such a big brand. And I always felt very fancy, important, walking in Philips in my suit with all these very clever people, the people that I look up to, the people who, in my opinion, back then, which completely shifted by now, but in my opinion, made it in life, right? Who I could see what they were getting paid because of the pay grades, and yeah, this was a dream come true for me back then. I did my graduation thesis, and I still remember conversation with my manager afterwards. I was just asking her, saying, "Hey, what's gonna happen next?" Because I was done. She was like, "Great job, good work, thank you. Like, what's gonna happen next with this thesis?" And she's like, "Oh, actually, there's a job application here. There's a job role for this position that you created with your thesis." So I just casually asked her, like, "Hey, could I not fulfill this position?" She was like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good." So at 24, I became marketing manager of Philips for customer relationship management. And yeah, that was quite the step. That was quite the title for me, which I was very proud of. And the salary was pretty good for a 24-year-old as well. And I did that with a lot of passion. I think back then there were really two sides to me, and maybe you recognize yourself in this, maybe not, but for me there was the serious, dedicated work corporate guy of Yuri, and in the weekend it was the fun, playful party Yuri. There was like really two sides to me, and I love them both. And luckily, with the business that I currently have, it's much more blended into one. But there were really two strong sides to me. But for the for the job that I did, I had a lot of responsibility. I think I was overlooking like 40 different markets back then, of rolling out this email marketing system, the strategies that I put together. Um, I did that for about 2 years. Then our marketing department became redundant, and I had to look for a new job. And there was this job vacancy for Philips Online Manager OEM. I don't remember what OEM stands for, but a specific department in Philips Lighting. And someone pointed me out to this job vacancy and told me, like, "Hey, maybe this is a good opportunity for you as well." And this was way over my head. This was like a very senior role back then. Not super senior, but like at least I would say like 10 years experience. And I was still junior after my graduation thesis, after my first role as CRM manager there. And I applied for the job. I was like, fuck it, why not? Let's take a chance. I still remember the other people who applied for the job. I met them, I think, in the hallway, who literally had 5, 10, or 15 years more experience than me. And I'll never forget this. I posted about this once, I think, on Instagram as well, but I'll never forget this moment, which I think symbolizes a lot of beautiful stuff in terms of taking a chance on someone. But I met with Peter, who was the manager back then. We had a conversation. I didn't have too much to bring to the table in terms of experience, but I threw around some names that I knew in the organization and some of the things that I had created. And I left the job interview. I think I did a second interview, if I'm not mistaken. Did a second interview, and I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get the job. But for some miracle reason, I got an email saying that I got the job if I wanted to. And Peter, the hiring manager back then, who became a really good friend, maybe you're watching this, Peter, thanks again. He said that he saw a motivation, a drive in me that he saw in himself as well, and he believed that you can hire talent, but you cannot hire motivation and drive. And this is what he hired me for, which I was very grateful for. And I made a huge step in terms of salary, and I did that for, I think, another 2 years, where I had a lot of responsibility of this specific division, managing their website, their email tool, their portal, their automation tools, the copy, everything marketing related came through me, which was amazing. And I think it was like 25 back then. So it was a real privilege still to work there and to support with marketing and with sales back then in that time. And after 2 years doing this very passionately, the also this department was made redundant. So the job was made redundant basically within 6 months' time. I think we had that full announcement for the entire department, and I started to apply for other jobs, and I got a job as a senior marketing consultant for an agency who was actually serving clients who were serving companies like Philips, Canon, Sony, Ricoh, McLaren, like the really big companies. And I took that position, did that for another 4 years of basically training people, designing campaigns at high level. And this is, I mean, like, we're working here with like budgets of 500,000, 1 million, tons of people, tons of departments. So very different style of marketing, most likely, than that you're used to, unless you have a corporate background. And did the presentations, did everything, did that for another 4 years, and learned a lot about good delivery, marketing automation, insights into your clients' marketing messages, campaigns, all of that good stuff. And I was quite specialized in my niche when it comes to marketing automation as a senior marketing automation consultant. And at one point, I decided to go and quit my job and become a freelancer. And this was a really good step back then, because I think it tripled my income. I think I was earning not double. I think, yeah, somewhere in the 6 figures per year. So it was a very good paying job as a freelancer. And I worked for DB Schenker, which is a very large German organization responsible for a lot of logistics in Europe. Started to work for them. We had a big project of rolling out marketing automation tools in the world. I think it was worldwide, and we ended up training 400 marketeers, which was really cool. 400 marketeers on the principles of marketing automation and modern marketing, as we called it. How do you position your avatar? How do you set up the right campaigns? What are the triggers? How do you get more customer lifetime value out of your clients? I did that for another 2 years, and at one point something started to itch. And maybe you recognize this feeling as well, where you feel like I'm too much in my comfort zone. I'm not sure if you had this as well, but I'm too much in my comfort zone. I feel like I was meant for more, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. And this is really where everything started to shift and everything started to change. And as I said at the beginning of the video, like, I don't think I was supposed to live this life, and things have massively shifted. And then things were going well, like money was abundant. I basically had everything that I had ever hoped for and wished for, but things started to shift because I guess maybe it's human nature. Like, once you reach your goals, like, how long does the satisfaction actually last? And for me, this was relatively short. I started to look for new things. COVID hit, as we all remember. So when COVID hit, I quit my freelancing job, and I, back then, with my girlfriend, my former girlfriend, I went to Mexico. We always loved to travel. I mean, recording this from Canada, I still love to travel, to explore, to discover. And we went to Mexico for about 3 to 4 months. I left everything behind in terms of my freelancing job, the corporate identity that I took on, and there I started to wonder what was next. I had nothing on my to-do list. For the first time in my life, I had nothing on my to-do list. And I, inspired by my girlfriend, I started to do the inner work. I went to breath work, man circles, I did plant medicine, I did ayahuasca, peyote, I did all the good stuff, sound healing. And instead of externalizing things, trying to get more money, focusing on my career, focusing on the materialistic stuff, I started to focus on the insight, seeing what brought me satisfaction, what I really wanted, what my purpose was in life. And by all the activities that I did, specifically the ayahuasca journey was very, very impactful, very profound. I I came to the realization that I wanted to add value. I really wanted to help those who helped others. It's the best way that I was able to formulate it. And in my life, I've been helped a lot by coaches, coaches who are driven. I had real estate coaches, business coaches, personal development coaches, men's work coaches. So I grew a lot personally because I truly believe that investing in someone else's knowledge and someone else's skill sets, it's the quickest way for personal development. It's the quickest way to collapse time. And I will keep doing that until I die, because I think that's the quickest way in life to level up. Anyway, I grew a lot by their support. So one day when I was sitting in Mexico, and I just had a very profound men's work session, and I still remember this particular session was the first time I did a men's circle, men's work. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. First time I saw a video on this, I thought, well, like, what's this shit? Guys hugging, crying, screaming. I did the session, and we sat in a circle. Everyone was sitting in a circle, and the person leading it, Voy, who later on became my mentor as well, he asked, "What are you currently feeling? Like, describe it 3 words. What you are currently feeling." And my response was, "I feel good." I was so disassociated from my feelings that I couldn't really describe what I was feeling exactly. I was like, I feel good, present. I don't know what container words I used. And we did the session. I don't really recall what exercises we did. Maybe it was around like anger. I think I was holding a lot of anger at that time with the challenges that I had, my relationship, and not having a clear direction of where to go. And yeah, we went through the exercises. There indeed was a lot of screaming, shouting, working through emotions, working through the energy, actually learning the things that I was never taught of, like how to deal with emotions, how to express emotions, how to let the energy go, how to get in touch with that. And at the end of this session, I felt so connected to everyone in that room, everyone doing the work, all of the guys openly hearing their stories about what they shared and the struggles that they went through, the relationship issues that they had, the money issues, the fears, the responsibilities that they all carried, which we often do as men, right? What we all carried on our shoulders as the lone wolf. Felt so connected, and so connected to them, so connected to myself. And at the end, we again sat in a circle, and Boy asked me again, like, what are you feeling? And I remember just being overwhelmed by the amount of emotions that I had, and feeling so connected, so grounded, so light, I think were the words that I used to describe how I was feeling at that time. And that particular moment shifted a lot for me. Like, this was where I was 100% sure that my mission for my business that I wanted to start was to create a ripple effect of growth and success. I wanted to help people like Voy, people who make an impact in the world, but who lack the skill sets, who lack the marketing knowledge, who lack the sales knowledge. Because a lot of people start their business because they went through a transformation, right? Maybe this is true for yourself as well. You go through a transformation, you solve a particular pain. And I just came from a retreat with 50 incredible people who all went through such a transformation themselves. They had to figure things out, maybe with health, business, relationships, whatever it is. And this is often how we get inspired. We feel that we want no one else to go through this pain and to figure this out. And those were the people that I wanted to help passionately, and I'm still very, very passionate about this. Because often, because you go through such a transformation, you know a lot about the topic, right? You know a lot about relationships, or dating, or solving this particular pain. Could even be like specifically back pain, or how to get fit, or how to get in shape, how to heal yourself. But it doesn't mean you understand business, right? Business is a completely different game. It doesn't mean you understand marketing, you understand sales. And this is where a lot of potential is being wasted by the people who are good at what they do, but they don't understand how to actually market themselves. This became my mission. So, dedicated to this new business that I wanted to set up, with my background in email marketing, we went home. We went back to Amsterdam after 3 or 4 beautiful months in Mexico. Went back to Amsterdam. I started my business, and I started to read all of the marketing books. Um, Russell Brunson, right? The expert secrets, the funnel secrets, all of the secret books. Bought the course, bought several other courses, and I started to dig deep into how to support this new industry. I thought I had the marketing knowledge, but how do I apply this for actual business owners, for actual people who want to grow their brand, their personal brand, make an impact, right? How does this work? So logically, I thought that email marketing was the right way because it came from email marketing. So I wanted to create a course. I wanted to move abroad. I wanted to create a course. And guys, this is a big mistake. Number one, I wanted to create a course, sell this on autopilot, have the people who take it, take all of my knowledge, make some passive income. Little side note, and this is not something that I've shared before and I don't openly share often, but I think it's a very important, an important thing in this video. But yeah, me and my girlfriend back then decided to break up after 7 years of being together, which was very tough. And things unfolded. I ended up going to Bali. She ended up going to a different place in the world, and this is where I went. I left everything behind. The house we had in Amsterdam, the 7-year relationship, my corporate life I left behind, the financial security which I got from the job, ditched everything and moved to Bali to restart again, start this business, which was a very tough year, I would say, dealing with the emotions of the breakup, the challenges of letting someone who you dearly love go, being in a new country, not knowing anyone, not having any friends, and having to restart and figure out this whole business thing. Apart from the challenges personally, I was fully focused, fully dedicated, as I usually am when I start something, to make this business work. So in my ignorance, I rented a villa and started to record this course because I thought that environment was very important, to look fancy, to have this fancy villa, to look like you know what you're talking about. And I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I was just recording this course with shitty recording equipment, and not ever created a single email, I think, an active campaign in my life before. And this took me 7 months of my time. I created a perfect landing page and all of these video modules and the back end, and invested money and time. It took me 7 months. I don't know how much money it cost me. But most important was my time, which I will never get back. And then the course was finished. So the course was finished, and I just realized I have no one to sell to. All I had was my Instagram list, where I know a couple of people who were a coach. So I ended up selling it to 2 or to 3, I think. Made €1,000 after 7 months, which was an absolute waste of my time and money, because I didn't figure out the most fundamental skill that you should have as an entrepreneur, and that's how to generate traffic. That's how to generate leads. And I missed that element. I figured I'll just run a bunch of ads, which I did. Absolutely wasted money because I didn't understand how it worked. But figuring out traffic, figuring out lead flow is still the single most important thing to figure out as an entrepreneur. So I think that lasted for a couple more months. So after a year of my time, um, I was I think that was the time I hit a burnout. The relationship we were still going back and forth with was, which took a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, very, very painful, very, very tough. And I had this course which wasn't selling. I had I had a big um, I had a big bill to pay back in the Netherlands, which completely wiped out my bank account. An unexpected bill that came in from from a damage back in the Netherlands. So I went broke. I think I had $500 left in my bank account. So I went broke, trying to figure out this whole business thing. With my last bit of money, I bought a course about LinkedIn. LinkedIn was a hyping new platform back at that time, and bought this course on how to generate leads from LinkedIn. And I had to learn everything about copywriting, and appointment setting was new, and it kind of clicked. It was like, shit, email marketing is not for coaches. Like, who needs email marketing? Like, you just need high ticket leads, right? High ticket leads. You need to understand better how to convert those. So I dove onto the LinkedIn offer. I mastered all of that. And this is how I decided to help my clients, to help them understand LinkedIn, how to get leads. So this is what I did for another year and a half, I think. And I was working, I was grinding, I was posting every day, doing exactly what the marketing gurus told me to do. The the coaching cartel, as I call them as well. Um, Posting every day, creating freebies, right? Freebies to go viral, to attract leads, and creating more freebies took hours and hours and hours of my time and energy. Posting every day. I hired a VA, I hired a copywriter, I hired another copywriter, I had 2 appointment setters, trying to figure this whole thing out. And I did get a couple of clients, but looking over the year and a half that I spent figuring this out, my clients were getting some results, but not as good as I wanted. I got some results, but not as good as I wanted. And this took another year and a half being in the organic grind, posting, hoping to go viral, hoping to attract the right leads. And I remember at one point I I was at a gas station in Bali. I remember this clear as day, and I was just standing there, and I think I just had my scooter filled up, and I drove off, and or I kind of moved forward a couple of meters, and I just had this panic attack starting to come up like this. I never had a panic attack before in my life, but it took me a lot of effort to um, really remain calm. I just texted the people from my men's work circle, from my men's circle back in Bali, um, but I wasn't doing well. Like, I was very scared because I was running this business. It wasn't really making any money. It was just burning me out. It was burning my clients out. My clients weren't happy. I wasn't happy. It was just, excuse my French, a fucking shit show. And something had to change. And I had insecurities. I had doubts. Like, like I'm pretending to help people, right, to grow their business, but am I like a fake because I cannot even grow my own business? Like, I was just banging my head against the wall. Why is this? Why can't I figure this out? What is not working? I was just looking at it as like an engine, an engine in a car, and like, what element is broken? I just couldn't figure it out. So something had to change. I had to make a tough decision. Business coach always told me, tough decisions, easy life, easy decisions, tough life. And so I made a tough decision. I let my whole team go. I stopped hiring clients, put my business on hold. And if you're an entrepreneur as well, maybe you can relate. The toughest thing is to actually sit in silence and do nothing, which was very uncomfortable for me as well. So for a couple months, I had no idea what was going to come next. And I went up into the mountains. I journaled a lot. I tried to like figure out what was going to be the next step. And at one point, I had a villa already in Bali, which I was leasing for a year and a half, 4-bedroom villa. So I had some couple spare rooms. So I wanted to sublease one of the rooms to make a bit of money. And this is when I came in contact with a guy called Ryan, and he got the room. We became good friends, and he was working as a closer for a very successful fat loss coach. He was doing, I think like 100K or so per month, and he told me about a system of running a simple ad to drive traffic, and putting an appointment setter in place to nurture the relationships, book in calls. And he told me that this guy who he was working for, that he was 24, 25 and doing 100K per month. And something clicked for me at that moment, that I was just in the wrong vehicle. I was just throwing spaghetti against the wall, hoping something would stick with organic, hoping something would go viral. And I just realized that I was in the wrong vehicle, right? I was trying to like complete the 24-hour of Le Mans on a tricycle. Like, it wasn't working. Like, all the other people I was looking up to, they were all running ads and they were all building leverage. So something clicked, and I started to look into this model, and I hired a coach to help me on this and put this model together. And again, like, this was the third time I had to restart my business. It came from email marketing, that didn't work, had to restart. Came from LinkedIn, that didn't work, had to restart. And I remember thinking to myself, do I really need to do all of this again? And but there is no way back. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're doing this from the heart, if you're doing this with a mission, then, as my mission is to create a ripple effect of growth and success, then there's no way back. So I got the mentorship. I rebuilt the business. I studied the model of like, how does this work, and and I rebuilt the business. I started with a pilot group of 5 people, and we started to build this. We started to implement this. We started to run ads. We started to figure out YouTube. We started to further perfectionize appointment setting. And I had a network of good appointment setters. So I was helping my clients to find the right appointment setters, put them in their business, run their ads. And the results were just, yeah, they were just astounding, because it's like with ads, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire, right? It's like an instant lead flow. So my clients who went from struggling on Instagram, posting every day, not having a single lead come in, or very sporadically, now we're doing 150 leads per day at the cost of like 30-40 cents per lead. So we made progress very quickly by installing an appointment setter. One of my clients, she doubled her income within 30 days and had to create like a wait list. One of my clients, within I think 3 months, went from 2K and literally being stuck, posting every day, feeling stressed, frustrated, overwhelmed, and posting every day, doing everything himself, to 3 months later, six-folding his revenue from going to 2K to 12K per month, and installing an appointment setter and hiring a backend coach, and really going from working in the business to working on his business. Other fitness coaches of mine who are doing their biggest month, month after month, charging high ticket prices, more confidence, helping them with sales scripts. And this just changed everything. It changed the entire game for me, for my business. I just hired another team member. We just did our biggest month again this month, and it's just a very predictable system that is working, that I've put together for my business, that I've put together for my client businesses. It's predictable, it's scalable, and just looking at it from a step back, the whole thing that I was creating before with organic marketing on LinkedIn, it's just the most frustrating thing you can do. Sending out the cold DMs, posting, hoping to go viral. And with this, you're actually building leverage. We're actually building leverage. My clients are actually building leverage. And the most amazing thing is that one of my clients that I've helped is also like a good friend of mine. And this is where everything kind of like came together. We were out one day, right before I left Bali. This is a couple of weeks ago, and we were out. We're in the club. We're having a couple drinks, and he looked at me. He grabbed me. He's like, "Man, dude, you fucking changed my life. Like we just hit again our record month." And it's like everything now works. And I've been so frustrated. I've been so stuck, and it looked great on the outside. Like my Instagram was doing good, but on the back end, like I was struggling. I was just only relying on referrals. I was only relying on my network. And dude, he's like, "You changed my life." And this still gives me goosebumps, because this is exactly the reason why I started my business 3 years ago. It was almost like the universe putting everything together, showing that the hard work pays off. But this is exactly why I started, to create this ripple effect of growth and success. My friend who I've helped is just really good at what he does, and he changes lives. And I've helped him to change his life so that he can help more people. So it just all beautifully comes together. And I'm here in Canada at the moment, and I just came from an incredible business event as well, with so many inspiring entrepreneurs who are all helping others. And this is why I'm so happy that I'm in this industry. And maybe it's not as flashy or as quick money grabbing as you can do in a crypto or in drop shipping, but we're actually changing people's lives. And with we, I mean me, I mean most likely you who are watching this video, all of my clients. And that is truly the way that I want to live my life and how I want to move forward. The satisfaction that I was missing when I was working for Philips, for Canon, for Sony, when I was very financially stable. I just listened to that voice deep inside of me, which I was suppressing, and now with the business, which I will continue to grow, because every time I help someone, I help a ton of other people that I probably don't know of. And this is my big why. This is why I'm so passionate about what I do and what I truly believe in. So guys, if you made it to the end of this video, because I know I've been going on quite a bit of a rant, I just want to thank you for watching and for listening. This feels very personal. This feels very vulnerable, but I hope that this inspires you maybe as well to step into authenticity when it comes to building your brand, or maybe some of these components you relate to. I would love to hear, like, hit me up on Instagram. If you actually watch this video to the end, I would love for you to like go on Instagram, drop me a DM and share me your takeaways of this video. That would honestly mean a lot to me, because this is the most personal video I've ever created so far. So guys, thank you for watching. Again, if you found some value in this video, please, I'd love to connect with you. Joeri_Ruigrok on Instagram. The link is down below in the description as well. Drop me a DM and we'll have a chat there.